Welcome to Creative Arts Apothecary. I'm your host, Marina Tselner, and I am so happy to introduce my guest, Moshe Tselner, Michael Tselner, Moshe Tselner, Papa, Misha.
Yeah, all of those. Moshe, Misha, I guess my mom made me name me Misha when we came to the United States. So, Moshe is, of course, my Jewish name. And then Michael somehow popped in there also on the official documents on my passport. Yeah, all of those things.
I'm your host, Marina Tselner, and I am so happy, honored, delighted, overjoyed to introduce my wonderful husband, my best friend, my better half, Moshe Tselner. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be here. It's such a pleasure. I've seen some of the interviews in the past, and I can't believe I'm on the show now. I love it.
You do. I think we could think about it together. We kind of talked about it. Do you want to give me a bio?
Mm-hmm.
Something.
I was born in the former Soviet Union, and my parents brought me to this country when I was 3.5 years old from the former Soviet Union. Through Miami, then New York, then eventually Los Angeles. Los Angeles is kind of where I grew up, so I think of myself as a, LA boy. I grew up in this wonderful city, very diverse. Los Angeles, part of Los Angeles, I would say like an ethnic enclave where there was a lot of Russian Jewish kids growing up in the neighborhood. And some of them I've had, they're my friends for life still to this day. A lot of my friends are from my childhood. So I feel very privileged, and it's just nice to have that kind of upbringing. And then all kinds of other influences while I was growing up too, just playing in basketball in the park leagues and getting to know that culture. And then breakdancing in in middle school. And what else? Yeah, got into like a lot of stuff like that. Then I went to Santa Monica College, then UCLA. Then I went to law school for a little while. I worked in the stock market. Thought it was an exciting thing to do, and then I got into teaching and into hypnotherapy after that, and music and sound healing and those kind of things. I lived in Venice Beach and had like a sabbatical sort of, and that was very influential. The most influential thing for me was when I went to Burning Man. I had been really kind of down on humanity, and my friend told me to go to Burning Man. And yeah, I went, and everything kind of, and it opened up my eyes to that you don't have to be, a certain type of person in a certain kind of definition, like this or like this, that you can. I saw people dedicating themselves to their creativity in ways that I had never seen in my life. It was just amazing, and also the community that happened there, and then also Marina. My wife, who I didn't even see the first year when I went there, I just put little notes all over Burning Man, and because my friend told me that Marina was going to be there, and I never saw her the first year. The second year I saw her. In the third year we went together, and it was what do they call it? Gone with the wind after that. Whatever it's called, and then the whole life changed. The marriage, the kids, the home births, the all kinds of moving around, this and that, and then just all kinds of adventures. Life has been an amazing adventure so far. I feel really, really blessed to be able to live this life the way it's been kind of playing out so far, and going forward, so much to be excited about too.
It's true. Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks.
That's my spiel.
Yeah, I love it. That's your background in a nutshell. It's
exactly.
It's
Get into more details if you want, but you could have to probe me a little bit. Is it okay if I drink my coffee during the interview?
Yeah, of course. Cheers, l'chaim. I'm.
It's I live in perfect San Diego, but today it's like raining and kind of
cozy.
Yeah, it's just settling in here.
Yeah, totally. Settling in. I drank my coffee already. Yeah, that helps me when you remind me, like, like Burning Man. It can be like Burning Man. So for people who don't know, Burning Man is this beautiful art festival in the middle of the desert. And that was when we met again, but that's another story for another time. This is different since
Of course, it's more personal, probably.
more personal. Yeah. And so in a lot of communities, Burning Man has a reputation for like hard partying and this and that. And I always say, it's just as part of life. You can find that anywhere if you want to, right? Even at the stock exchange. No, I'm not. We don't have to name anyone. I'm just saying that's out there. But you and I, we had a pretty wholesome experience at Burning Man. I mean, it's definitely like an art festival, and there's free expression. So there's a lot of everything going on. It's really beautiful. But the way you and I did it, we were, waking up early, catch the sunrise, going to like drum circles or cafes, or I'd drop off at Camp Picasso and paint all day, and you would go to center camp and play your flute, and it was just it was really meaningful and spiritual and beautiful, and yes, there's all kinds of fun artwork and music, and community is a really big deal so you don't feel alone. Like those.
Well, can I chime in? I always thought that it was like Burning Man's, this is it, but what do we do the rest of the year? I always think like to take a little bit of that and kind of bring it into your everyday life. Just that kind of feeling of being able to be spontaneous creativity. What do they call it? Spontaneous creativity, and also like radical reliance, radical
self-reliance.
Radical self-reliance.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But it's not so self-reliant. We're all dependent on each other, of course, but it's just so refreshing.
Yeah, puts things in perspective. So it's a camping. You basically go into camp. And that helps me too when like the inner perfectionist pops up and like, this isn't clean enough. This isn't that. Camping clean. Okay, camping clean. We're good. Just keep moving. At home, it's obviously different standards, but just to say like we've applied this. Why the face of doubt? Did you see that?
At home, it's different. It is, yeah.
Different, but yes. We don't camp at home the same way we camp in the desert. But it's
don't let the kids like leave their underwear everywhere.
Some people might do that
temporarily.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's like an invitation. Like if you could do anything in your most creative way, what would it be? So it's pretty amazing when you come at it with an intention for community, for connection, for art, for creativity, for healing, for like you bring this into your quest, into your journey, then you can experience and pretty remarkable things and meet amazing people and open up to your own creative flow in new and powerful ways that you can bring in to the rest of your life, when possible, that trust and like how we're all connected and destiny, like all these.
Being a participant, they talk about like, don't just stand around and watch, don't be a spectator. And it's like it makes it what it is by everyone having the mindset of being a participant. What can I contribute to this day? Take it one day at a time. What can I do today to make it more joyful, more meaningful, more connections with everybody, and just kind of lift everybody up, everybody lifting each other up. It's amazing what happens. You can feel it in the room or in the camp when everyone's gone in the same kind of wavelength. The vibration just rises. That's what I try to do in the immediate family too. But on every day it's different. Everyone's got their own agendas.
Yeah.
Kids, the adults, everybody. It's not hard. It's not easy to pull off always.
Yeah. So Burning Man is 1 week that happens out of the whole year. People prepare for it, but you like come with like your best intentions. You kind of geared up, ready. But if you just catch a slice of like, you know, anybody during the day in the middle of, it's like, where are you? Where are you? What are you doing? It's different. Definitely everyone has their own agenda. And yet, you bring creativity, you encourage me to bring creativity into, we brought it into the birth, we brought it into different milestones, different celebrations, but even into like every day we have built-in possibilities for creativity. You got the gong right there behind you. So when for lunchtime or dinner, if they don't come when we're calling them, that's our kids. You hit the gong, but like, so we're in it. How can you do it creatively and get your flutes back there? So
it's no, have fun with it. What's the point of making everything a drag? Might as well make it fun.
Yeah.
And all, like you were saying, in the everyday aspects of life, getting up, making breakfast, shipping the kids off with their snacks, making dinner, everything. Try to do it. I try, on good days, I try to do it creatively with joy, get the kids involved as much as I can. Not always, but yeah, that's the life. That's the life.
Yeah. And so, what other things? You can't always be playing the flute. So what can you bring in? I know you have your headphones on and listening to lectures. Like what's going on there? How does that help you through the everyday?
Oh, that's good that you mentioned that. In the mornings, I have my own little routine. I'm glad that everyone's still sleeping when I wake up, because that gives me my time to myself. And I cherish that. If somebody wakes up a little too early, it kind of throws me off a little bit. So I wake up like at 5:30 most days, 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I have like a good hour, I think about an hour and a half. So I have a routine where I listen to the mystical Jewish teachings in the morning before I do like the regular prayers, So I listen to the Tanya, just little 20 minutes of it. I try to listen to it and try to take it in, and so that you have it's like a practice. So when you do that, when you go into official like prayer, you have something to pray on, like you're praying to God. Who is this God that you're praying to? So that's what the lectures, the 20, 30 minutes or whatever it is, tries to kind of analyze, talk about, delve into the makeup of the force, the king, the father of us, whatever it is, the God that runs the whole world, that decides who comes, who goes, who stays, who doesn't. Who is this? Why am I here? Who am I and why am I here? This in college, those are the two questions that I went from economics major to philosophy major. I had these two questions. Who am I and why am I here? I still have those questions, but it feels better because there are answers.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. And I love that you seek them out, and they're always ongoing. You can always ask that at any level that you're at, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And you, of course, you're like my diamond. I mean that, what I mean by that is that you're sharp, you're beautiful like a diamond, but you're sharp in the way that you could polish me. You understand? And that's, let's say, in any good relationship, it should be like that. It should be, you don't want to seek somebody that says always yes to you. Yes, yes, sure, sure. You want somebody to, you got to sharpen out that edge of this little thing. You got to tweak. You got to constantly be growing and get better. And hopefully I'm your diamond too, that I could sharpen you up around the edges.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still, you get me like inspired and thinking, and then I'm still thinking about that. It's been like that right since we met. Like you open up like these possibilities for me. Like,
take your time, of course.
Whoa, and then just hang out there for a little while. But I mean, I'm a God girl, so I love hearing what you're saying here. We definitely vibe on that same wavelength. I didn't grow up that way. Like I was, for a long time, I was like, wait, why'd you say king? Why not queen? What's going on? This is a conspiracy. This has been keeping me and my people down. What's going on? And then I shut out like the wisdom and the beauty of it. But now I get that. Like I get why, the So the art class that I'm gonna lead into, it's about the divine feminine, and it's really just reconciling like the masculine energies in the world, the feminine energies in the world, not just in the world, it's in ourselves. We each have all of those inside of ourselves. And so when we say king of the universe, I don't want to, it's not just like walking on eggshells. I don't want to alienate people. Yes, I don't. Because there's like so much baggage in the language. I want to, if anything, just like free up possibility to like entertain these ideas. So when you're learning about like the makeup of God, like what's something that you learned about? Like this is pretty philosophical and like out there. It's not your regular fare. What's something that you learned recently?
Oh, well, recently, yeah, I could tell you that, like, when there are people that are considered kind of like extra gifted in the realm of spirituality kind of people. In Jewish practice, they call them tzaddikim. They're like the righteous people, and they're actual people. They're not gods, they're not angels, but they're human beings, but they happen to be extra special. So these extra special people, they're in the daily, follow the daily Tanya or whatever. The Alter Rebbe talks about how when one of these tzaddikim, these extra credit kind of people, pass away from this world, their body and their soul kind of part to some degree. But now the followers, the students of these teachers, they have even more access to them than when they were in this world in a body, because now they're not limited by a body. And, if you're connected to this kind of person through their teachings and through their directives and what have you, you have access to that because they're mostly that type of person. They're not in their body kind of person. They're not constantly, I need a steak, I need the beer, I need the nice fast car. They're all about the faith and the love and the kind of like the awe of God. That's what their teachings are about. And you can connect to them even more when they pass than when they were alive. That's just something to meditate on. That's an example.
Thanks. Awesome. Yeah. I really like that, just to have something to meditate on, and especially that like you prepare before you go into prayer.
Yeah, it's important.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
That's just some official stuff. I always talk to my friends, like since I've been taking on Jewish practice, there's like official Jewish practice, and then there's kind of like stuff that you still need to do in order to feel connected. Like I talk, there's in official Jewish practice, you got to pray 3 times a day. You should pray 3 times a day officially. You should say, blessings before you eat, blessings after you eat, blessings after you use the bathroom. Best, very interesting stuff. Like all day long, you should be saying 100 blessings. But I don't tell my friend also that I talk to all the time that if you need to, during the day, 2 or 3 times at least during the day, you need to really feel like how blessed you are. And you unofficially just say, thank God. Thank God, and feel it. Just feel it and just say, thank God. Not official, just not official also. So you gotta have, but it's nice to have the official stuff too, just to keep you on a kind of program. Otherwise, it's just like, today I feel inspired, today I don't feel inspired. And it usually kind of just goes, there's no consistency to it. With the consistency, there's real change that could happen. And it's so nice. And also to connect with other people that are doing the same kind of program. That's special.
The consistency, that was really cool. I mean, lots of really cool things about what she just said, but I pictured you playing a flute, and I'm a self-taught artist too, but I self-taught as a kid, so it's like not that memorable. I mean, it is because you're always learning, right? You like your craft, but you taught yourself, and you were like, that's it. It's time. I need music. I need this.
Yeah, yeah. It was. Listen, I for many years I had flutes, and I would play them, just mess around for years. We're talking 10, 15 years possibly, without learning official scales and and chords and all of this. It's just my friend that was more officially into music. He played the guitar. He said that it's time for me to do official stuff like learning scales, learning intervals, all of the music kind of things that you need to learn. So I got a book or two, and maybe I took a lesson or two, but really I just kind of self-taught through getting the right books and really having the time. Thank God during that time, just the time is what you need. So I happen to have time. Right now, I feel like I don't have time, that much time, because there's a lot of stuff. I'm juggling a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You are. You do a good job of like when there's a moment in time, like in between time.
Yeah, I try to
Grab,
find it.
grab your flute and like and you play something for all of us, and it's beautiful. It's
That's what
really
I like. That's my favorite stuff. I discovered that's my favorite stuff to do at Burning Man, is to wake up in the morning, not to wake people up with an alarm clock. I just kind of walk through the village, just through all the streets like this, just kind of very lightly, just play my flute like a little bird, just waking people up, just making sure everyone has what they need and are happy. And that makes me the happiest. I'm into hospitality. That's my other thing that I do right now.
Yeah.
As far as making a living, hospitality is just perfect for me for now. Just the perfect industry to be in. And it's related to this week's Torah portion, if you don't know that.
We'll be playing this a little later, but I really like that you relate it. Tell us more.
This week's, if you follow the weekly portion of the Torah, this week's portion, Vayera, is when the three angels come to Abraham, to his tent, and this is he's still recovering from the circumcision. This is the day 3 that they come, and he gets up, he runs to them, not only walks to them, he runs to get them something so they could get food for them, wash their feet, whatever it is, because he didn't get a lot of visitors out there in the desert in the tent, but he was waiting at the entrance because he really loved to have visitors and to take care of them. That's it.
Beautiful. And it's everything kind of swirling together, but that's a form of devotion, hospitality. And just how you say like that you love it the way, playing your flute in the morning, like a bird in the morning. And then like what are the birds doing? We learned that the birds are also on a mystical level. We learn the birds are singing their praises to God. Like that's what they're doing. So even the bird singing is devotional, and the flute playing is devotional. The hospitality is devotional. It's like there's this joy and gratitude that comes out when we're doing what we feel like, we're here to do. And it's
that's it.
Yeah. Can you just a little
that people talk about in the New Age books and things, the new earth that's kind of happening is this.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is people kind of tapping into that it's not going to happen. It's not happening on like some explosion, fireworks. It could happen that way too. Of course, it's not limited to happening that way, but more than anything, it's happening on a day-to-day, getting the joy out of doing what you do on a day-to-day thing, but infusing it with a little extra oomph. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thanks. So what are we doing here? I just thought this would be a great way to it's an interview. Yeah. Why are we doing interview series? Can you I guess hold on, let me present the question first. What is it? I wanted a way to explain what all of this is about. Like we're gathering all these creative people together, creative coaches and scholars and healers to inspire all of us to stay creative, to be creative, to all of that, to feel connected with each other, because it's easy to to feel alone. Like it's like yeah. So anyways, I thought it would be really special if to bring you on, because you're such
Thanks, Marina.
such a big part of my life, of everything. I mean, couldn't do any of this without you. It really is a partnership in so many ways. Um, I just thought it would be pretty cool to bring you on. And, intuitively and from your own experience, you brought me to a lot of this, brought the healing power of art and creativity and introspection and all of that. There's this it's introspective, but it's also like how we connect to the bigger picture. And I just think it's really powerful. So, anyways, so I thought it wouldn't be fun to bring on Moshe, Michael, Misha, Maishala. There's so many names for each other. And then you're like my source. You're like what does this mean? So what is the weekly parsha? Like, how would you translate that? What is that about? What is
part of the official kind of practices we talked about, unofficial and official. Officially, if you're going on the program, the Jewish program is, it's just the Torah is broken down into, I think, 53 or 54 portions, and they're usually weekly. So it's part of the weekly cycle that we follow. But mystically, one of the wise rabbis that have told us that during that week, you shouldn't just read the portion and kind of analyze it and know what the scholars say about it. You should live it. It should infuse your life with inspiration and whatever you're learning, you should always ask yourself, how can this translate into actual action, actionable action, changing society, like you said, and to get people more joyful and to say, get out of whatever depression or whatever they may be experiencing, or anxieties, and just say thank God for everything that we have. We can put our minds and hearts to it. We can make this really work really nice. We have a lot to work with. This is going to be good.
May it be so. I love it. Beautiful. Thank you. So we're going to transition now into speaking of actionable steps in our project that you can follow, and you can have a finished painting, creating in community, from start to finish. Very cool. And thank you for you clearly explain so many things that to me on a daily basis. I'm like, Moshe, what does this mean? Moshe, what does this mean? So can you, for all of us then, what does it mean? What are we doing here in this interview series?
This interview series, it's about art, it's about healing, right? It's about art, it's about healing. And it's about creativity, how your own creative are all of our, like you said, all of us are creative in some way or not. Even whatever stories we tell ourselves, maybe that I didn't do good in my art class, this and that, doesn't mean anything. We're all creative in some way. And that little kind of creativity within us, it's like this little spark. And it just we have to find a way to make the spark into like a little fire, a bigger fire, a good fire, the kind of fire that could heat you up in the winter, and not only yourself, but people around you. There's that story. Can I say that one of the Hasidic stories that I like the most? There's like two ways to heat yourself up in the winter. You can get yourself a big fur coat, and just put it on to yourself, and you're going to be great. You're going to be nice and warm. But everybody around you in the room, they're not going to be warm. Or you can go outside, get some sticks, get the fire going in your little fire pit or whatever, the fire, the pit in your house, whatever it is. And then you make a fireplace, and then you make a fire, and then everybody around you are going to be warm. And that's the goal. And that's the goal with the artwork too, is you make the art, you share the art, you let the art heal you, and you let the art heal your community or whatever little things that need healing or big things that need healing. You give it a shot. It's worth it.
Thanks so much, Kim. So remember, everybody, stay creative and have a nice day.